My hair is not living its best life. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to give you some steps and habits to kind of break your cycle, break out of your funk, and live more of the life you want, the life you deserve, the life you dream of, and just like how to kill it, really. So if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get started. These habits have completely changed my life. I used to be super scatterbrained. I would come up with all these awesome ideas. I wouldn't write them down. I would end up forgetting them, and then I would just honestly lack a lot of motivation. I would lack just the courage. I was very up and down with what I wanted to do outside of obviously being a mom, being a wife, stuff like that. But creatively, I was just I would get stuck in a lot of ruts, and I'm sure so many people out there can feel me on that. It's almost like your roller coaster where you're up, down, up, down, up, down. But when you get a consistent flow and you get a consistent routine, you're bound to kill it, and you're bound to be great. You're bound to be successful. So these are the habits that have worked for me, and where I've learned these from is listening to podcasts, reading books, listening to YouTube videos, listening to Tony Robbins. He's one of my favorite speakers. Just gathering a lot of information. So first up, what I'm going to tell you is, I know it sounds annoying, waking up the same time every day, even if it's the weekend and you're tired, whatever, I'm telling you, waking up the same time every single day and getting a full 8 hours of sleep will change your life drastically. I used to be one of those people where I would stay up till 2, 3 in the morning, wake up at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then it's like my day was completely ruined, or I was overly exhausted, or I was grumpy, and then my brain would be in a fog all day, and then I just wouldn't be able to do the things I wanted to do, so I would get frustrated, and it would just make a downward spiral. If I wake up every day at 6:30, I don't even need an alarm, because normally I'm waking up at 6 to 6:15. I wake up energized, I wake up happy, I wake up in a good mood, I wake up ready to conquer the things in my day that I kind of have planned. I don't wake up with that feeling of, oh, just 10 more minutes, please, 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 please. I wake up just super, super positive and happy. Another huge habit that I definitely recommend doing is making sure to have something to be grateful. And I know that sounds really corny, and you've probably heard it a million times. If you just say one quick thing when you're waking up, as you're brushing your teeth, as you're washing your face, as you're running down the steps and tripping and falling, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be one of those days, or you spill your coffee, oh, you know what, just take a second, laugh at yourself, and who cares? Is this going to matter 25 years from now? No. What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for the air in my lungs. I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for my car. Is it the nicest car? Maybe not. But just think, at least I have a car to get me from point A to point C. Just try to think of something positive, and you'll see the world, everything in such a different aspect, I promise you. And I know it sounds super annoying. I remember, because I used to be a really negative thinker. I was always like a glass half empty type of person. If you look at the glass half full, I'm telling you, your life will change. You will realize things really aren't as bad as they seem. The more conscious you are of thinking positive thoughts, the easier and quicker your day is going to go. I promise you. I really hate when I say that habit, because it just sounds so cliche, and you're like, oh, easy, and trust me, I've been there. But I promise you, if you just take a few days and just do it, you'll be like, you know what? That bitch was right. So my next habit every day is I like to fast. I know it sounds like, oh, fasting, I'm gonna be starving, I'm gonna get hunger pains. It sucks. I know. When I started this fasting, the intermediate fasting, it literally made me so hungry. I almost got flu-like symptoms because I felt like my stomach was shrinking. I felt dizzy. I felt lethargic. But by day 3, I was like, where did all this crazy energy come? I felt like my brain was on fire in a good way. Like, my thoughts just were so much more put together. I had so much more energy. I noticed I wasn't binge eating half as much. I know this is gonna sound gross, but like, my poop schedule was way more regular, which in turn made my stomach issues go away, because I would get really bad stomach aches and stuff like that. My skin got crazy amount better. I would break out all the time. I would get real greasy, oily. I would suffer with a lot of redness. I feel like my skin has never been better since I've been fasting. I promise you it sucks the first like 3 to 4 days. By day 3, day 4, you get so used to it that even when it becomes your cheat day, you go to cheat and you're like, I can't even eat this whole burger. Like, it's insane the way your body just changes. And then sometimes for me on cheat days, I don't even want to cheat. Like, I just want to like keep fasting because I feel so good. When I do my 24-hour fast, I try to do them like once a month. And you get to the point where you do the 24-hour fast, and I know it sounds like, oh my God, you're starving yourself, but you're not. Your body feels so good because you're like detoxing your liver and your kidneys, and you're just really cleansing it and drinking a lot of water. You feel so good. I can't even describe it to you. If you haven't tried it and you've been thinking about it, I would highly recommend intermediate fasting. And I always give this tip to people when they go to start it. When you go to start intermediate fasting, try and see like when you get the hungriest and when you get the most cravings and when you feel like you want to just binge eat. I would say, so for me, I love to eat around 12, 1 o'clock. I mean, I like to eat because that's after I have worked out and stuff like that. So for me, if I don't eat until noon, and then I like to eat from like noon till 6 and then take the rest of the hours off, I notice when it's my turn, like my body's turn to eat, I don't want to binge. I don't want to overeat because I feel so good from kind of the fasting that when it is time to eat, I almost want to eat in little increments, and I want to eat a lot of little portions, if that makes sense to you. If you guys want me to do a whole nother video on my intermediate fasting, how I started it, how I do it now, because it has changed since I started it. I regulated intermediate fasting to kind of accompany my body, fit my body. And I'm not like a crazy dieter. I eat what I like, and I've lost almost 40 pounds since I've had Sophia. So this has just changed my world. If you guys watch me on Instagram, you know I don't deprive myself. I love beer, I love food, I like pasta, I'm a spaghetti type of girl. I can eat it like a grown man, and I don't feel deprived. And let me tell you, I have tried every diet in the book since I've had my first baby, and this is the one that works for me because I'm not telling myself, no, you can't have that, no, you can't have this, which makes you want it even more. This is what works for me. My next habit for you guys, and this is key, I keep journals, okay? And I've been doing it for about a year to 2 years now. What I do is I kind of keep them always like in vicinity of me, or I'll write it in my phone to kind of write it down in my journal. Whenever I get an idea, it goes right into my journal, or it goes right into my notepad in my phone, because that way I don't lose track of my thoughts. And a lot of the time when I get really good ideas and I think about things and I get creative is in the middle of the night when I can't sleep, which is like all the time. Ever since my daughter died, I don't really like sleep very good, so I wake up a lot, I think, and blah 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 blah. So I keep a journal right next to my bed because I'll just come up with like these creative ideas, what to get the girls for Christmas, or what I want to film about tomorrow, or how to plan this birthday party, or just like different life things, like not just pertaining to YouTube and Instagram and things like that, like real life things that actually matter more than this. This matters to me, but this is kind of like my second priority, not my first. You guys get it. So when I wake up in the middle of the night, I always write these down because that's something I used to do. I used to come up with all these good ideas and I wouldn't write them down, and then the next day I would completely forget. Another one of my girl boss tips for you guys, definitely visualization, and it sounds so like little, but it is key. If you can see yourself doing it and you can play a movie out in your mind, it can truly happen for you. If you don't think about how it happens and every little detail to get there, but every night before bed you visualize it, it can come true. It can sound like the dumbest tip ever, but I'm telling you, it is so powerful. It has happened to me so many times where I visualize it in my head and it happens a few days later, or it happens 2 weeks later, or it happens 20 minutes later. It is just so powerful, and I definitely recommend you guys doing this. So my last tip for my girl bosses out there is setting goals for yourself, and they don't have to be huge goals. They can be so tiny, where when I started doing this, and what I would do is wake up and just make my bed every day. Once I would make my bed, I would be like, I feel like I conquered something. Just making small goals for yourself will eventually lead to making big goals for yourself that you end up accomplishing, and you look back at your goal list that you've written down, and over a year you're like, wow, my world has completely changed. And a year or two from now you can keep looking back, and it's almost like the pictures of the before and after of when you're trying to lose weight or like do a transformation or something like that. When you look at your goal list from when you first started till however long it's been, you're just like, look how far I've came. And then it's just so motivational, and it makes you want to keep going and keep doing more and keep challenging yourself and keep learning. So these are my successful girl boss habits, and if you guys use them, if you'd like these videos, give me a thumbs up, let me know what you think. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.